Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Amongst the early Tabi'een, the freed slaves played a big role in the preservation and spread of the deen. And amongst those freed slaves is an Imam who has a name that no other Imam has had. As a result, when his name is mentioned, then there is no possibility of confusing him with another person. That Imam is Imam Taawoos ibn Kaysaan Rahimahullaah. Some ulama held the opinion that the real name of Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah was Dhakwan, but that he was called Taawoos, or more specifically, Taawoos al-Qurra, because the word Taawoos means a peacock, and he was referred to as the peacock of the Qurra because of his excellence in the field of Qira'ah. The intended meaning thereby was that if the other Qurra were ordinary birds, then he was a peacock that everyone would wish to see. Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah was born in the year 33 after Hijrah and was of Persian origin, although he was born and spent his early years in Yemen. Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah began studying the deen at a young age, and in his own words, he studied by between 50 to 70 of the Sahaba Radhiallaahu anhum. Amongst the Sahaba Radhiallaahu anhum that Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah studied by are Hadhrat Suraqa ibn Malik Radhiallaahu anhu, Hadhrat Zayd ibn Thabit Radhiallaahu anhu, Hadhrat Abdullaah ibn Umar Radhiallaahu anhuma, Hadhrat Abu Huraira Radhiallaahu anhu, Hadhrat Aisha Radhiallaahu anha, and others. But he is most famous for having studied under Hadhrat Abdullaah ibn Abbaas Radhiallaahu anhuma. Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah became one of the close and special students of Hadhrat Abdullaah ibn Abbaas Radhiallaahu anhuma, where the normal students held him in such awe that they would say he is from the Khawas, those special students who are special amongst the great students of Hadhrat Abdullaah ibn Abbaas Radhiallaahu anhuma. Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah was a person of great piety and used to be known as someone that would avoid the doors of the rulers. In fact, possibly the most well-known incidents about him are his interactions with the rulers. Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah was also a person of bravery because he wouldn't flinch in front of the rulers. In fact, he would still treat them with disdain on top of it too. On one occasion, one of Sulaiman ibn Abdul Malik's sons came to the class of Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah and sat to the side of Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah. Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah ignored him and carried on as if he wasn't there. Then some people, thinking that perhaps Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah didn't see or wasn't aware of who he was, they said, "It's the son of the Amir al-Mu'mineen." But yet Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah continued to ignore him by not turning in his direction. After the incident, Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah explained to his students the reason for his action, saying that I wanted to make him realize that Allah has slaves on this earth who are not concerned with what they have in their hands of worldly things. Because these rulers were generally people that lived for the nice things of this world, and people would respect them, if not for their wealth, then for the fact that they would have no issue to kill someone they dislike. So people like Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah shunned them in this manner, so that they can see that not everyone can be bought, that there are people to whom they mean nothing at all to. This is why, even when the governor of Yemen sent 500 gold coins to Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah, then Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah refused to accept it and sent the messenger back with it. Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah lived a simple, poor life, because he would in fact make dua, asking Allah not to give him abundant wealth, but rather to give him iman and the ability to do good deeds. The only one of the rulers that was different was Umar ibn Abdul Aziz Rahimahullah. At one time when Umar ibn Abdul Aziz Rahimahullah was only a governor under Sulaiman ibn Abdul Malik, he asked Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah why he doesn't mention his needs to the Khalifa so that he can be assisted financially. Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah replied saying, I have no need to ask him at all. Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah used to try to perform Hajj as often as he could, and he ended up performing Hajj 40 times in his life. On one occasion, the Khalifa Sulaiman ibn Abdul Malik came on Hajj, so he told one of his people to bring a faqih to him so he can ask him some questions relating to Hajj. So the people pointed out Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah as a faqih to ask. So the king's man came to call Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah, and Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah declined. But the king's man would not take no for an answer. So Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah was brought to Sulaiman ibn Abdul Malik. When Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah arrived in front of the Khalifa, he said to himself, Allah is going to question me regarding this meeting. So he said, O Amir al-Mu'mineen, there is a rock standing on the lip of a pit in Jahannam, which takes 70 years to fall before it reaches the bottom of the pit. Do you know who Allah has prepared it for? The Khalifa replied, "No, I don't. Who has Allah prepared it for?" Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah said, "It has been prepared for the one that Allah has given rulership and he is oppressive." Upon hearing this, Sulaiman ibn Abdul Malik began to cry because he understood that he was the one being referred to. A few years down the line, a similar incident occurred when Hisham ibn Abdul Malik was ruling. He came on Hajj and couldn't find any Sahaba Radhiallaahu anhum in Makkah. So once again, it was Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah that was summoned. When Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah came, he removed his sandals next to the carpet, and without greeting the Khalifa using the title of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah came to sit next to him without permission and said, "How are you, O Hisham?" Hisham got so angry that he wanted to kill Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah, but he held himself back and questioned Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah as to why he did all this. So Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah explained, saying that 5 times a day I remove my sandals in front of Allah, and Allah does not have a problem with me or become angry with me on account of it. Secondly, not all the mu'mineen are pleased with you as their ruler, so I feared I would be a liar if I called you the leader of all the mu'mineen. Thirdly, Allah calls His Anbiya alayhimus salam by their names in the Quran, while Allah referred to the enemy of Allah, Abu Lahab, by his kunya. And finally, the reason why I sat next to you is because Hadhrat Ali Radhiallaahu anhu said, "If you want to see a person from the people of Jahannam, then look at the one who is sitting while people around him are standing." Hearing all of this softened Hisham from wanting to kill Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah, that now he asked Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah to advise him further, which Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah did, warning him about the punishment in Jahannam for the ruler who is oppressive to those under him. And after saying this, Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah stood up and left. Hadhrat Abdullaah ibn Abbaas Radhiallaahu Anhumaa used to hold Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah in such high regard that he used to say, "I consider Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah to be from the people of Jannah." Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah used to be said to be the most knowledgeable on halal and haram in his time. And Imam Amr ibn Dinar Rahimahullah used to say, "We did not consider there to be anyone more truthful in his speech than Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah." Imam Taawoos Rahimahullah passed away while on Hajj in the year 106 after Hijrah at the age of 73 years old. May Allah make us people of Iman that choose the everlasting riches of the hereafter over the finite things of this world and live by the Sharia until the day that we leave this world. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.